How often does a literary character inspire you? Meet an artist who has read a novel by Milan Kundera, a Czech author, who then finally drew sketches and created a painting based on one of the characters. Get to know more about the painter and her inspiration on Tribe.
Agnes. This was the name of Czech author Milan Kundera's character in the book Immortality. Having read this novel some years ago, artist Maya Munoz has become inspired to paint her and named the piece August.
Well, simply because that's about when I started it, August. So, for lack of a better title, you know. But the painting itself is, I usually don't do portraits, not that often. This one is more about like a literary character that I'd read about like a long time ago, 10, 15 years ago siguro. Her name is Agnes from Immortality. It's a book by Milan Kundera. It's always in the back of my mind, that character. So every time I would see certain people, you know, they would remind you of so-and-so.
This character captivated the author, Kundera, with a simple gesture that she made. Agnes is at a swimming pool and turns to the lifeguard and makes a gesture with her hands, a gesture that she has probably done all her life. With this, Milan Kundera writes a story on unexplained, random elements that make up a person's essence.
The book is about initial inspiration. So first, I think, like the very first 2 or 3 pages, he writes about the person that provoked that book in him, you know. And it was this person and one little single thing that she did, which to him was like, I guess, immortal daw, right? As an artist, you tend to be inspired by like the smallest detail that sometimes it confounds you, how you do like a whole series based on something so small.
This essence, wrapped in a single gesture, is what Maya Munoz has tried to capture into a portrait done in parts and in pencil sketches. She had wanted to retain this certain essence long after youth has expired, even if only the nuances of Agnes's feature are in the painting.
Initially, I just wanted to draw. This is a friend of mine, but for this piece, you know, she actually worked as a model or a subject of the painting. The sketches I did like halfway through the painting because it just wasn't getting the face, or it's like, I mean, with no features and anything, but there's a specific quality about everybody, you know. You have to just kind of get it, like get your hook on there, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's them, kahit walang face. Just to see what it was I was doing wrong, because I wasn't getting her exactly. So yeah, so studies halfway through and then go back and redo the whole thing. I want you to sit with it for a little while, you know, because in such a small room, parang it swallows you a little bit. It can be overwhelming. I just want you to see somebody who's aging, youth, because you never really quite think of youth. If you're young, you don't think of being young. It's when you know it's almost gone, you know, that you start thinking about it.
How do you capture a fleeting moment and encapsulate it? How do you translate a gesture into works of art? Through the written word or a quote of paint, experience a timeless moment through the work of this talented contemporary painter, Miss Maya Munoz.